Hello and welcome. I am Spicy Chicken Spicy Boy, and this is a spicy chicken review for you. So today we are going to be looking at a new flavor of spicy chicken from a Midwestern pizza chain known as Topper's Pizza. They have come out in the past with some other shorter lived so-called novelty flavors, so-called by myself, I guess. But they're coming out with another flavor. I don't know if this is a permanent addition to the menu, but it is new. They're trying a Nashville Hot style chicken. So they've got some various items: Nashville chicken pizza, some Nashville Hot sticks, but I went with the wings and the boneless wings. So I've got the Nashville Hot chicken wings and the Nashville Hot boneless wings from Toppers. Nashville Hot, rise to meteoric heights over the last few years, is well known by those who enjoy spicy chicken. And it's no surprise that a place like Toppers is going to dabble in this a little bit at some point. So, Nashville Hot, known for a strong cayenne flavor, if I'm not mistaken. Typically pretty hot. If it's authentic Nashville style, it is going to be on the spicier side. And I decided to get both the boneless wings and the regular wings. Test them out both for you, let you know what I think. So, all that being said, let's just dive in here to whichever I open first. Looks like it is the bone-in traditional style hot wings. So, if you can see those, let me get that paper out of the way. You can see those are some hot wings. They're pretty liberally doused with whatever seasoning there. I did see the guy shaking them in a container in order to apply the seasoning. So you've got those there. Ooh. You give it a little whiff, that's peppery. That certainly does have a peppery aroma, a hot aroma. So that's good in my opinion. If these are supposed to be Nashville Hot, you want a nice peppery hotness wafting into your nostrils off of the chicken. So I'm going to have to take a look at one of these. I assume they're going to be equally hot as the other wings, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, there is a real, almost a slight smokiness. I feel like I can really smell that cayenne coming through. So I'm going to go ahead and take a bite out of this, and I will tell you what I think. I think I'm going to eat one more to get the full effect here. Well, there is a pretty prominent cayenne pepper style heat coming through that. The aroma didn't lie. It's a slight earthiness, a slight smokiness. And in this particular sauce, there's just a hint of sweetness that they've added to the sauce. Just a hint, not a tremendous amount, but a little bit of sweetness. And the sauce is relatively oily. It's not greasy exactly, but it is a little oily. But from what I recall with my experience with actual Nashville hot chicken in Nashville, a little bit of oil in the sauce is not Not too unusual. Oils with ground powdered hot chili items like cayenne can serve to draw some of the heat out. So you can up the heat a little bit there and you kind of get more of the flavors out of it. So the chicken itself, pretty well prepared, pretty moist, pretty tender. Um, not especially crispy. Could have gone a little crispier, but I think after tossing it in that sauce, it's going to be tough to hold on to some of the crispiness. Letting the heat build up now. I'd say this heat is it's heat forward, so it's not lingering especially long. But I think, if you ate a bunch of them, you would feel the heat. So I would say this heat is like a 6 maybe on a spicy scale, but it hits you with the heat right away, and it doesn't just sit here burning you. So you get the heat, you get the flavor, and you kind of go about your business from there. So the heat, reasonable, 6-ish. The overall flavor, pretty nice. That little bit of sweetness in there. The pepper flavor, savoriness of the chicken, and the flavors in general, pretty good. I'd say these are pretty tasty. I think they're not quite as pepper forward as the traditional Nashville, and the sweetness doesn't ring a bell with me for traditional Nashville hot flavors. Now I could be wrong. I'm no Nashville expert, but I think that's a little bit untraditional, but it's also not bad. So in combination with those other flavors, it does round it out, and you get a pretty well-balanced flavor on the chicken here. So not too shabby, not too shabby. I'm gonna go in for the boneless. Now these equally has that same pungent spice, well coated, and you can just see those in there. They're kind of, just amorphous pieces of chicken breaded and then covered in sauce, as you might expect from a boneless wing. I'm just gonna pick, a random one out of here, and I will take a couple bites and tell you how they compare. One more bite here. Well, that's interesting. The breading kind of changes my perspective on the flavor a little bit. More of that sauce kind of soaking into the breading like that seems to have highlighted some of the sweetness in the flavor. The breading compared to a piece of chicken, bread is relatively sweet, so that makes a little bit of sense. But also then the soaking in and mixing with the breading and the fried chicken brings out that sweetness, and consequently, these almost have more. I'm like almost picking up on like a barbecue sauce style flavor here with that little bit of smokiness and sweetness. It brings it a little bit farther away from the Nashville and more towards what you would think of as more of a traditional style barbecue sauce that is a little sweeter, a little richer. The pieces of chicken themselves are pretty decent. They're little chunks of white meat chicken. It's really not like a processed nugget. It is a real piece of chicken, cut up into small bits and breaded to disguise its true origins, perhaps, but not a chicken nugget style. More of a chicken tender, if you will. And You know, between the two of them, I actually get, this is a little surprising, I feel like I get a different flavor experience from the breaded chunks and the actual wings. So if you're feeling more of the barbecue style flavor, and maybe this is just my imagination based on texture or something, but I feel like the breading brings out the sweetness a little bit more. And the bone in, you get a little more of the heat forward flavor and a little less sweetness. Now, could also be, you know, just the order I ate them in. It's really hard to say. But I think they're both pretty good. I would recommend them. I think I like these. They are pretty good. I'm going to give these like a 7.5. They're pretty tasty. The wings are prepared well. The chicken tenders, the boneless wings are also pretty good. And I think that the heat level is really nice. I think I'm getting like a good amount of heat without being totally overpowered. It's a little less than perhaps a traditional Nashville spice, but not too bad at all. So with that, that is Topper's Pizza Nashville style chicken. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, you know, if you liked this video as much as I liked this chicken, go ahead and hit the like button. And, you know, I imagine Topper's is going to come out with some other kind of novelty style flavors. So definitely subscribe if you're interested in keeping up with Topper's novelty style chicken wing flavors, because I will be doing reviews on those when they come around. And with all that being said, I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you're enjoying the video, and I also hope that you are keeping it spicy, folks. Thanks.